All right, so this is our little pen test session. What we're going to be doing here is we will be running two web servers that will host two different websites, and we will be conducting penetration tests on those websites. So what we have here is our Kali Linux machine, and then our two web servers. And these web servers will be the ones hosting the websites that we'll be trying to hack. So the first thing we're going to do is do an ifconfig on both of them to see what their IP addresses are. And then on our Kali Linux, we're going to check if we can reach those IP addresses. So this one says 192.168.56.103. Let's ping that real quick. And we are getting a reply, which means we can reach it. And the other one was 56.102. We can reach it as well. That's good. So First, let's test our DVWA, right? Bound vulnerable web app. So what we want to do is do a quick nmap scan on it first. And then I want it to show me what the operating system is. Oh, looks like I need sudo hours for that. Then in the meantime, while it's scanning, let's go ahead and open the website for that web server. And sure enough, we're greeted with a login page from DVWA. So nmap results came in, and it looks like we have a few interesting ones. We have MySQL running on port 3306. All right, so let's play around MySQL. Let's try to do an attack, a SQL injection attack. But first, we have to get into this website, and what we're going to do is we're going to brute force our way in using Burp Suite. You just copy this link real quick. So what the game plan for this stage is we feed Burp Suite a bunch of usernames and a bunch of passwords, and we tell Burp Suite to, hey, test all of those usernames, test all of those passwords, and find which combination gets us into the website. So let's first test it out. Let's put test as our username and test as our password. It says login failed. If we go here to our request history, we have, yep, there it is. Username equals test, password is equal to test. That's what we put a while ago. So I'm going to send this to intruder. And this is where we formulate our attack. So I'm going to turn both those fields into parameters. And I'm going to, for each parameter, I'm going to give a word list. So for our payload set, number one, this is for our username field. So I'm going to give that a bunch of usernames to try. I have a very short word list here for common usernames. We're going to use that. And then for our password field, we're also going to do the same thing. We're going to use a short word list for passwords. So these are also a list of common passwords. And then I want it to flag because we saw, right, when we did that login, we saw that it gave us a page saying login failed. So I want Burp Suite to flag any responses where the website had the word failed in it or fail. And yeah, sure enough, there's fail there. So I'm gonna tell Burp Suite to flag that. And then I also wanted to follow redirects. because some websites do a lot of redirects when you're logging in. So let's start the attack. So we can see there's a lot of failed login attempts here. They all have a flag of 1. Oh, this one's different. This did not fail. So it looks like the username was admin and the password was password, and the login did not fail. So let's try that. Admin password. There we go. We got in. So that is our first uh, stage of the pen test. All right. So if I remember correctly, one of the services our Nmap returned was MySQL. So we're gonna try and do a SQL injection attack here, right? So let's see. Seems to be a single user input field. Let's test something. All right, there was nothing returned. So theoretically, what's happening in the back end here? There's probably a SQL query happening there that's like that goes like select something from table name where it says user ID, so it's probably using user ID as uh, a condition equals whatever our input is, right? So this input is basically what's going to be what we'll put inside this text box, and I think they put quotation marks here. I'm not too sure, but basically what this query does is that it returns something, we don't know that yet, from a specific table name, we also don't know that yet, where the user ID is equal to whatever we put there. And what we can do is we could set the input to something like this. Right. So in that text box, we could input something like this. Because if we input something like this, then the SQL query is going to look like this. So select something from table name where user ID equals blank, right? Like literally nothing, or 1 equals 1. And 1 equals 1 will always be true, right? That's like common sense. So if this becomes true, then this whole condition becomes true, and therefore this query will be selected. Something will be selected from whatever table they are using. So let's go ahead and try this as our proof of concept to see if SQL injection works. There you go. So it looks like we are getting a first name and a surname from this query. So let's go back to our notepad. So this seems to be first name. I'm just guessing what the column names are. Surname from, and I don't know what the table name is yet. So what I can do to check the table name is what if I did something like, all right, so as you remember, it said MySQL or MySQL in our Nmap scan, and in MySQL, uh, the SQL query, if you're asking for the table name and its columns, uh, is this. It would be different if you were using PostgreSQL or Oracle. Since we know that the website is using a MySQL database, then this would be the right query to use. Information schema.columns where table name equals users. So we're going to use this as our input. Oh, looks like I hit the jackpot. So, all right, we still have our first names and surnames. And then this is where we have our columns, right? We got first name, we have last name, we have user, password, and avatar. Password seems pretty interesting. I wanna know their passwords. So I'm gonna tweak that SQL column a little bit. Oh, and by the way, I might want to update this instead of first name. It turns out it was, what was that? Was it last name? Uh, yeah, it was last name. Last name. And the table name. Oh yeah, the table name is users. Right. I almost missed that. So the table name is users. Users. And then now what I want to do is I want to get, let's say, the first name and their password, right? So let's replace this. Let's do first name and then password from users, I think. Yeah, users. Hmm. Oh yeah, can't forget the condition, the always true condition. All right, let's input that. There it is. So we have the first names and their, well, I know for sure this isn't their passwords. I think these are the hashes for their passwords because I logged in as admin a while ago and the password was password, but uh, we are getting something else. So my assumption is that this is a hash. Let me just confirm that real quick. All right, so what I have here is a hash cracker, and I want to crack this hash. So let's go here, enter that thing. Yep, there it is. Says that the original text was password, and we know that for sure because that's the password I used to log in. So let's see the other people's password. What about this one? All right, so there we go. So we got the users, their first names, their last names, and their passwords. And that is, I would say, a successful SQL injection attack. We were able to get user accounts and their passwords. Okay, so with this website being hacked and their database breached, or their passwords breached, we're going to proceed to the next website, which is our BWAPP, Buggy Web App. That's what it means. So um, let's go to BWAP's IP address 192.168.56.103. All right, let's copy this, but instead of 102, we put 103. All right, so this is a bunch of web apps that we can play with, and let's do BWAP because that's what we're there for. Right, so we're given a login page. Enter your. Oops, I think they just gave us a very strong clue what it is. There we go. So the password was B and bug. Or no, the username was B and the password was bug. Very nice of them. And then uh, let's do an nmap on this website too. Right, so the results came in. There is no SQL. There's no MySQL going on here, so like, SQL injection attacks are probably out of the picture. We do have HTTP, HTTPS. Hmm, let's see. Let's do a quick burp suite on this to see if we are using HTTP or HTTPS. Uh, let's see. Oh, all right. B bug. And if we go to burp suite, we should see the history of requests. Oh, yeah, we're using HTTP. All right, so we can do something about that. We can um I'm thinking of an attack where we can send something to the server through HTTP and get the server to respond with stuff that we want from them through HTTP as well. So, let's see. Can we upload a file? Oh, yeah, we can. Let's upload. Hmm. Please select an image. Oh, Whoa! Okay. Interesting. Hmm. Very, very interesting. Okay, so that one right there was a class A vulnerability. So we just got access to whatever pictures they have here. Yep, there it is. So we have okay. So can I upload a file there? Let's see. Penguin. All right, I have a picture of a penguin here. There you go. There's the picture of a penguin I uploaded. So it seems to me that um pressing this button right here executes a command on the server side and returns the output for that command. So my theory is, what if I upload a text file? What if I hmm okay, what if I uploaded the text file instead of a picture? Okay, very good. It doesn't seem to care if we upload a picture or not. I just uploaded the text file. It asked for an image. I uploaded the text file, and the text file still got opened. What if I uploaded a code? do some research here. Oh, I forgot I don't have internet. Uh, simple PHP web shell. I like this. Let's go here. All right, so we'll make a file named payload.php and then we'll put our code into it. So if you're not aware, this is what we call a web shell. And basically, a web shell is a file that if the server opens it, then I'm going to have access to the contents of the server through my web browser. So I'll be able to control the server, look at its items, look at its files, add files, delete files from my browser, right? So let me just make sure that I have that here. Yep. All right. This is going to be the next file we'll upload. Very good. Very good. So now we can do uh oh, I didn't do that. It was Linux, right? Yeah, we can do Linux commands here. Let's do an ls. Very good. All right. So now I'm in. I'm literally in their server and I can see the contents of their server. Let's do or no. Nice. Yep. So I'm in their server, and that is not a good thing for them because I could start messing with stuff here. But for all intents and purposes, I don't want to ruin the virtual machine and lose access to it, so I'm not going to ruin stuff. I will do a simple um, test though to see if I can really add stuff here. Let's see. Where are we? We are in images. So I'm going to do something like echo I have hacked message.txt. So I'm going to echo this message into this text file while creating this text file. Then let's, yep, message.txt. So I'm going to go here. Remember, it's got message.txt. We're going to do a pwd real quick. So we are here, right? And we'll go to our server VM. Let's cd into, oh, great. I remembered I couldn't copy paste there. Hmm. There we go. Ha! So there's our text.txt, our payload.php, and our message.txt. And if we do cat message, yep. So we are literally in the server's uh, directories right now, and we broke into we broke into the directories using our web browser. So I would say that's also another pretty successful uh, penetration test on the BWAPP app. And of course, I could do something like to clear up my paths. What if I wanted to do rm payload.php? Would that work? Yep. Payload.php is no longer found on the server. I just cleared my tracks. Let's go. All right, so that's what we have for our pen test session. I hope that was enough. Thank you for watching.